So I think we're in for a series. I honestly do not sleep on Complexity. But again, of course, you have to pick a favorite. It would be Liquid.
Absolutely. And it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to jump into it. I believe we're going live on 3 now. So let us see which team is going to be able to take control over the first map, gain an advantage in this series, and bring the other one step closer to elimination. Will it be Liquid, or will we have another surprise to start off the day here? And will Complexity come out on top of this first map? It's going to be Inferno, so let's jump into it as we start the lower bracket here of the playoffs of the Americas Minor.
No kid on Complexity, and they're looking to fight, but look at this boost from Liquid in response. It'll catch them completely off guard.
Wow.
It's just the Nitro show right now, and they mop up house. Rarely do you see that boost, and this round is just done just as soon as it started.
Round took like a whole 20 seconds to complete, so very good start from Liquid, and they're going to be feeling good about themselves after that. Basically, no contest at all. Complexity tried to play hyper-aggressive on this pistol, and it came back to bite them hard as Liquid read into that, posted up, and Complexity didn't seem to stand a chance, unfortunately.
I haven't seen that, actually, used too often. Sometimes people go to tree and boost, but getting in that cubby catches those CTs completely off guard. That's a bit of ingenuity there from Liquid, and that's one way to shut down aggressive CTs on their pistol. And now they will get out your typical AKs and such. They will just spread thin across the map, trying not to get caught out anywhere. Stan is going to use a little bit of utility, try to fight for top banana. The flash came over Android just as he turns away from his own team flash. Little did Stan know he actually played the perfect anti-flash by looking towards him.
So already taking down 2 players here. Keeping everyone alive still on Liquid, which is going to be the important thing in these few rounds here. Complexity, with them having at least a little bit of an investment. We expect maybe 1 or 2 kills. We think that anyway. Ye's able to move out. Tags another player down low. That's the second one they've managed to do that on. Twist got hit earlier back in the apartments, down to 6. JDM has been lit up down to 8 HP. Oh, and Ye moves out. Another player getting hit pretty heavily. Just not enough for a kill, though, as we see Elige pushing through outside of Boiler, clearing out the last A defender, now leaving only Slemmy alive, who will be shifting through B, but is not going to be able to find much here.
Another thing I noticed yesterday when CLG were playing, and Liquid are doing some things very similar, is they use their utility no matter what the round is looking like. Even if it's a force buy, even just straight USPs, top tier teams will use utility and just favor themselves and just do the most as they can. I'm actually slightly distracted. They're going for a little bit of an interesting thing here towards Porch.
I think they were trying to
jump boost up and towards
up onto the
Porch.
thing. That or they were just messing around.
That was weird.
I think they were more so messing around than
Yeah.
anything else, but I don't think we actually caught on the stream.
But Liquid used nearly every piece of utility to gain, whether it be banana control, to fight back in towards A site.
Right.
They even threw smokes when they didn't need to, as maybe Slemmy can get a couple here.
It's got
There's a
1.
chance.
And that was a player full HP, relatively speaking, too. So I'm pretty sure Nitro was right around 100. All done by Slemmy. Picks up at least 1 kill here. He's going to back up. Saves the Deagle, at least, so they'll still have a little bit of firepower in the 3rd round. But besides that, it will be a full save, so don't expect anything amazing from Complexity here. Should still be a relatively straightforward round for Liquid to go up 3-0.
Looking for Complexity to perhaps, more than likely, get aggressive once more into this round. As you mentioned it, really nothing to work with. It looks like it is just going to be a little bit of a gamble play here from Complexity. As Liquid are just going to rock the same default. 2 top banana, 1 bottom mid, a couple towards A apps. Very safe from Liquid. If you've ever watched them on Inferno, they're in their default groove. I mean, it's rarely do they get opened up on pick-wise.
I like this little boost that we're seeing here now. Slemmy, he's going to look for some options. He hasn't been able to see anything yet. Oh, he should have been able to spot that player at the bottom of mid now. Unfortunately, was not really presented with a valid opportunity to take a shot at him. So we'll have to just hand over the intel that he saw him heading towards banana. And it looks like these other 2 apartments players are going to be joining up with the 3 that pushed up B as well. Since it's an open site, it's going to be relatively simple for them to close out, although they do lose Twist here. And Elige, he's hiding right now. He knows that they're going to be pushing up banana in a second. And oh, Slemmy and Android both picking up some kills. All right, they're doing damage here. They've actually got a man advantage that will be killed now, however, by JDM spamming down banana, being able to take down both Ye along with Android, and he'll even close out on Def too. So very quickly, Liquid take back control of that 2v3 and still close out. But obviously, it ends up being very costly, meaning that going on to this first gun round, they're not going to have a whole lot of cash left over for an immediate rebuy should Complexity come out on top of the first gun round.
We saw Peter full save, so he can just get out his favorite weapon into his hands. Peter's been a little too quiet for my liking throughout this tournament. It's been the deaf android and Ye show. So if Peter can really get involved, maybe there's something to be said there. As again, Liquid played a bit slow, but this time they're having a bit of a twist to it. They're going to try to get AAPS control. And Peter realizes this as he hears the sound cues of them jumping up. And he will just give up mid control, but not willing to give up boiler. Not yet.
Still have to wait, however, for the execute from Liquid. They should be doing it at any moment here. So that's going to put all the pressure on Peter. Trying to hold off the opposite lane. Stenzel actually doesn't getting pushed back, but a missed opening shot. Actually, excuse me, no, a connected opening shot. Didn't even see that he got the kill. Takes down Twist. Nitro will respond, however. Al Def sits up on top of the balcony, gets that first kill. Good trades from Elige, though. Brings it back down into another even volley, but Slemmy holds on. They do counter out the push from Arches, but a second player will take a trade. But Nitro knocks out Slemmy, brings it into a 1v1. It's going to become a very tense one as well. Nitro does not have the greatest amount of intel as to where exactly Ye is going to be moving in from. All he knows is that he pushed out of Arches. He doesn't know which way he's still hiding at. So Nitro's going to take the initiative into his own hands here. Pops up the smoke onto the other side to make it look like he was buying room for the plant. That's going to let Ye clear out the site, but come to the sudden realization in the next 5 seconds or so that Nitro did end up running away and headed over towards B.
And without having a kit, I imagine Ye will still go for this just based on the 1v1. The time is starting to become mainstream. They're going to clash early.
Nitro will just take the fight over here. Oh, he's got a great angle, too. I don't think Ye's going to expect this. All right, hold on. Checking for that. Nitro spamming in, and he's actually going to lose it. Ye will take him down. Ye actually expected him to be in that angle. Very, very well thought out by Ye there. He's going to be able to easily take him down. There's plenty of time left for that defuse, too. So Complexity take control of the first gun round, and they bring the scoreline it to 1-3.
That's such a tight angle to hold from Nitro, and you think you'd 100% get the drop on someone, perhaps missing just a couple bullets that needed to connect. And Ye makes it count. Didn't even need to use any of his utility he had. So Complexity pick up the first rifle round. Thanks to that bomb plant, Liquid are looking at just so safe with his buy. Nothing will be missed into this buy-up, while Complexity, on the other hand, losing 4 members. You can see how much that's going to hurt them in response. And look for Liquid. That was a nice change up from Liquid, getting AAPS control early and just settling into a quick aid execution. But they're so good at changing the pace, and when popping the defaults, when realizing perhaps Porch is free for them, and they go for some kind of play there once again. But for now, it is just going to be the 2-2-1 setup.
Oh. Strong nades. Not a whole lot Android can do to avoid that. Those come flying in at a really fast speed. So he's going to get wrecked by them. Loses just under 2/3 of his health pool. Another nade, however, goes back. It's Stanislaw just as heavily, but a final one from JDM is going to take down Android there. So they complete the trade, I guess you could call it. Bit of an interesting opener to the round with like 4 different nades being thrown in a few seconds here. But it does net Liquid a kill at least.
Stan is so ready for this position. He's waiting for a flash. Looks like Stan is just going to go up, try. Realizing just when the smoke was dissipating, and he may be waiting for a flash of his own, but he's playing so close. This is so scary as a CT to hold this angle.
Okay, ready to go back out. Great flashbang too, and they call it perfectly. He's going to be able to take down Stanislaw. Pretty sure he spotted Nitro, so they'll have an idea that he's here. However, Liquid may be thinking to a secondary strategy here in a second. But never mind, it looks like they're actually, with Nitro lining up for smokes anyway, I think they're going to stick with this site. Either that or Nitro will just pop in his and they'll fall back and go towards mid, which I think is actually going to end up being the option that they'll take here. They'll rush over towards the connector.
The gig is up now. Complexity going to start to rotate. Elige should be the first. Look at Death's position here. So strong as he will catch a Porch player, but he can't find him. The balcony player, Twist, only goes down to 12, and JDM has his back.
That's unfortunate. That's going to make this retake very difficult, especially with the loss of Slummy now. Just rushes over towards Porch. Didn't have any support at all, so not exactly sure why Slummy makes such an aggressive move there, considering they still had a good chance for the retake. But him dying pretty much kills it in its entirety, along with the site player going down too without a kill. If he at least took down Twist, they probably would have had a good chance to go for it, but now it's completely gone, and they pretty much just have no choice but to fall back and save, which means a reset on their losing bonus. Liquid going ahead 4-1. And after this next force buy that I'm going to assume Complexity will go for, it will be completely broken again if they're not careful.
It's double save or force round 2 AKs. I think the choice is clear for Complexity. Especially considering Peter can get out an SMG. Yeah, he could do the same. So they'll muster a bit more than pistols. And they will even get a kit out. So that's nice to see. As Liquid's money, they're still not in the clear themselves. Trying to stabilize, but a great T-half to start things off.
CT apps control has already been taken, which is relatively easy for Liquid to do here. Ever since the new version of the map, this has not been a gargantuan effort to be able to get in here and take this unless these CTs are the ones that try to aggress inside. But what the CTs do have right now is a decent amount of pressure right on the outskirts of it. In fact, Slummy going to be caught looking the other way. Oh, man, Def gets a perfect flash to his face. He's still able to chain together a kill. Besides that, though, Nitro will take him down. But Slummy and the other CTs that were holding out on our RAP side, they were able to fall back. The problem is they didn't actually go back to the site. So Peter's going to have to try and sneak his way back in. Misses that opening volley, tries to correct it here against Nitro. He's got him low, just can't complete the kill, and he's almost out of ammo here. Down to one bullet, has to go for the real. He's allowed to do it here, still can't find Nitro. Come on! We do end up seeing him being taken down, not by Peter, but by Slemmy eventually. However, Liquid definitely get the better of that exchange, and that leaves only Ye alive on the rotate here in a 1v3.
And Stan is in such a great spot. He'll peek. Almost gets good timing as Ye was able to just slither by, but he is just going to save this at the end of the day. Hang on to that kid, hang on to the armor, maybe try to find a couple frags. If he gets one soon, maybe he'd commit, but I think the gig's up. And interestingly enough, if Peter does find Twist there cleanly, then Slemmy towards lane doesn't feel pressure to come help him out. And that round probably what goes Complexity's way. Just a lot of missed shots, unfortunately, and yeah, Ye will just commit, and he will get put down.
So that's going to trigger a pause from Complexity, because unfortunately, the first volley of investments for them have not gone very well. These 5th and 6th rounds have not been able to put together any winning strategies just yet. So with 4 pauses available, they'll use their first here at the beginning of the 7th round. Now, Liquid hasn't necessarily run away with this just yet either. Liquid's money is not actually that great. Besides JDM sitting at 6,500, a little bit less than that now as he just bought a nade. Everyone's sitting at a pretty low amount of money, like 15 to 3K is the average amount. So it's really not, you got like 1 full rebuy off that, and then you're going to be completely broken. So if Complexity can start putting rounds on the board, they could very quickly get themselves a couple of free rounds by putting Liquid on the ecos. It's just a matter of actually winning those rounds that seems to be the problem here.
Yeah, the last 4 rounds, it's been 2 or 3 Liquid members staying alive. So you're right. They've been doing a great job of keeping them at least on their toes. Complexity have had good pistols into the minor in their previous matches. We've seen some Android Deegs. And maybe we'll see some more, because they're just going to be Liquid again. This 2-1-2, gaining A apps control. They'll get top banana. Taking no chances, using every piece of utility at their dispense.
Hoping this time that they're going to go through mid-choke once more, too. They've got this nice little lineup of players here to try and stop Liquid. However, Liquid are once again playing into the open here, playing around the map. Not necessarily deciding on a site just yet. It does look like they are going to pressure mid, but these nades just bait the CTs into pushing, and wow, all right. There goes the entire Complexity roster with not a single member of Liquid going down. Just a few flashes from Liquid bait the entire CT side out, and they pretty much ripped them up completely.
It's going to be another round again. Very similar to the previous for Complexity. As Liquid start to pull ahead here on their T side. I mean, being their map pick, being I guess this is the real David and Goliath. We've made the other one seem like it, but
that was more David and David.
Yeah, it was a bit more even. So this is the true David and Goliath story. And there you go. Def with a CZ. I've been very impressed with it so far, using it to the best of his ability. Although Elige is just giving free haircuts over here as he'll find Peter and Def. And he is simply just going to hold now, let his teammates come over and support him.
Elige looking revitalized too after he tweeted after the match yesterday that he was not happy with his performance. He was looking to improve that coming into today's match, and so far, along with the rest of his team, they're doing quite well here. Spots a third player, but Slimmy will not continue to take that flight. He'll fall back onto the site. And meanwhile, over at Banana, Stan picks up the first kill there. The only kill, actually, that they might end up getting there. They do decide to push the bomb through here, but at the moment, it's still sitting right outside of the apartments.
And believe it or not, yesterday, actually, after Liquid lost, Elige was the only one to come back, and he DM'd for at least 4 hours. Like, you can tell, he really blamed himself, and just sitting there by yourself in the back, DMing for that long. You can tell how much it means to him.
Slimmy getting some nice work done here. Moves out, knocks down JDM. This might be the end of his road, however. Stanislaw, he's going to aggressively push in. Slimmy expects this, however. He's got the gun out, but yeah, in an open duel there, Stan is going to be ready for it. He'll take him down. Liquid still close out, only that one additional kill going against them. Once more, 3 players alive, meaning their money's not going to go crazy just yet. It's starting to get there now, however, with 2 players just under 10K. And another at about 5.3 and 7.6, so it's gotten a lot better since these past few rounds, especially on these anti-ecos. Complexity have struggled to get a whole lot done in terms of knocking out the roster here, but we do have another full investment from Complexity's side here. Another chance to finally get some rounds on the board.
Peter going to line up his own pop flash. Getting flashed off himself. He wanted to peek that. Instead, back torch he'll go. He has a crossfire with Slemmy. See how long they're going to hold this. Slemmy and Def will double up towards Porch. Peter will be this opping presence on towards the A site. As Liquid have been just abusing these A apps consistently, nearly every round. We'll see what Complexity what their answer might be here.
The real question is whether Complexity is going to be able to stop this or not. If these players go down without enough trades, then there's not even going to be a rotate. Def moves in, does pick up the second kill. They're holding well for now. Stan picks up a first trade. Nitro finding number 2 here as they move in, but Peter still holds strong from within the site. He just needs 2 more pickups, and they've got the round secure, but he gets caught tossing out a nade. That's where JDM's going to be able to strike back, but the trades were good enough. They bought enough time for these other 2 B players to rotate over to the site, and they will for sure attempt a retake.
Oh, yay. Is he going to do it? Him and Ender, if they just both commit at the same time. Waiting for that plant, they're going to go. Nitro wins the first. Good big win for Ye, as it's a 1v1 against JDM. Stuck backside with an op, and JDM will peek left side. Looked simple for him, as Liquid to go up 8-1. And Peter did the best he could, but if perhaps one more, I think it was Slemmy in the site. He's got 1 kill, that round would have been done.
1 more, and they probably would have had it secured there. Peter did the best he could, though, as you said.
He did.
Held for a very, very long time. More than adequate enough, given the positioning that he had to play for him and what he was up against. Bought enough time for those rotates to get over. Probably could have been a little bit quicker, considering the fact. But the other issue there, too, is Complexity were playing hyper-passive in that round. So they just stuck to the site. They didn't have anybody out at the mid-crossroads or anything like that to try and see what Liquid were going to do earlier on. So the execute itself was a surprise. And far too often, we see that site execute happening without any room for a response at all. Look at this, actually. So I'm still talking about the last round here. We've got Complexity making some progress as they move in and get 2 kills right off the bat while only losing Slemmy.
They have armor behind this. For Ender to toss that AK over to perhaps Ye or Def. Peter has an op. Unfortunately, for Ye, Elige was holding the ult mid. I'm not too sure how comfortable Complexity will be going for this. I mean, they do have max loss and going to buy next round anyway.
These aren't their guns.
No, so I think they don't care at this point.
They fall back. Oh, and also unfortunate, too, because Twist catches the AK on the way back out. So they'll drop that. The decision as to whether to attempt the 2v3 retake or save these guns for the next round was certainly divisive, as we could see them contemplating going back into the site, but ultimately Peter decides to fall back. Now he's got the op. He'll be okay with that. Won't be okay with, though, is the score line. It's going to become 9-1 in a moment here. But the odds are that it will increase further and further unless Complexity change some things up to improve themselves on this CT side.
Important note, Elige is 14-4 in 10 rounds played. Granted, they've broken Complexity's economy quite a few times and had them on half buys. But you can see Elige is definitely in the zone today, and rightfully so. As it will be, again, Complexity, another rifle round, another chance. I've liked their change up in setups. They've been trying new things. Just Liquid gets so much map control, and it's hard to fight them off of it. So if Complexity, they don't even have to fight for map control early. They can just straight up almost out-trade in sights, but that requires an opening pick from Peter, as it's just going to be a straight-on B take.
Molly onto the ground here to try to hold them off for a little bit, but it's not going to stop Nitro. It lurks around that area. The problem is there's smokes there. Oh, he had to do a double take there. Didn't see Android at first. The smoke does block off Peter's perspective, so he's not going to be able to kill him just yet. What Peter did do, though, as you can see, popped out a nade and managed to take down Twist, and I think it did pretty good damage to quite a rest of the Liquid roster, too. They've all been chucked down by quite a bit. 33 HP on Nitro and Elige. Stand not much better at 48. JDM spotting that one of the CTs peeking back out there, but he's not much better off as well at 58 HP. There's a very, very real chance Complexity could still pull off this retake, especially with that Molly now burning out Elige.
Now they're going to go Nitro back emo. His teammates are falling all over the place. Another Molly from Complexity.
There you go.
And that is the power of hanging on to those Molotovs. Not using them at the beginning, having Peter holding mid with that op. They don't have to use any smokes or flashes early. They just had a great setup that conserved utility. They doubled up pit. And more importantly, the B player stayed alive long enough and did a decent amount of damage that made that retake all too simple.
Great restraint, great utility usage, too, towards the end there, and that ties into the restraint, as oftentimes we see teams overreacting and using that utility before it becomes useful, but in this case, they use it perfectly, and with the exception of Yaster getting that double kill there, they don't really have to end up using their guns all that much. The utility does most of the work for them. Molly's pushed at least 2 to 3 players out of positions and gave them some pretty easy kills to be able to close out there, and pretty much a flawless retake. They pick up a second round finally. The question, though, is can they keep this consistent? And there's more nade damage being done. I think that was a Molly HE combo coming out from Yaster, as that's going to be able to knock out JDM early on here in the 12th round.
And they will do this boost that 9 times out of 10 will get overlooked, and you get at least 1 frag. The nice thing is about that spot is, yeah, you may get 1 frag, but you can also fall into the smoke. So Elige wanted to go up boy there, but a well-timed Molly from Complexity, who now can afford to play a little more passive. Can afford to give up site control towards B, but hold from CT. Thanks to that opening pick. As a front sight smoke will be thrown from Liquid. It's more of a lurk slash perhaps one player peeking smoke, based on where the bomb is and the other 2 teammates.
Stan still trying to sneak up here. Look for any players of Complexity that would be posted up in usual spots. Complexity don't have the usual setup on B, though, so this is not immediately going to catch them, but Android's got to be careful here. He's going to be playing with fire if he peeks too aggressively. So he will sit back for right now, not actually peeking out from the Crypt's position, but just sitting behind it and not revealing himself. So that he can do this when and if we see Liquid go for the execute. Oh, does actually pop up there when he sees some nades being tossed back in. Call that out to Yaster. He'll get 1. As actually CT's not smoked, interestingly enough. They smoke the other side instead. Usual 1-for-1, as we do expect that to be that trade over there at the flower pot position. They bring it down to a 4v3, but Complexity still in the advantage.
We do have a little bit of utility once again for a retake to Molly. There it goes towards new box. Nobody's home this time from Liquid. And they're looking for aim duels from first and second oranges. A flash will come in. They're both able to dodge it, and it's Elige, the man stepping up for Liquid. And now he is in a clutch situation, stuck at first oranges, and op posted on him. And a rifle pushing him, wins the first, can't clean up Peter. Complexity will string 2 together. But in both of these rounds have been so close. Both retakes. Complexity may not be able to hang on to the site, but they're starting to get these retakes going.
You can really respect the positioning they take, too. It's a very smart way that they iron out the 2v1 they have against Elige there. I mean, you look at that situation, you think, oh, it's Elige, so he's probably got a pretty good chance to clutch that. Obviously, ignoring yesterday and just looking at Elige as an individual player in his
Completely.
But they play that really smart, right? They just bait the first player so that Peter can get the immediate trade. Very safe way to do it. Very smart way to do it. They're playing very good Counter-Strike right now, Complexity is. The problem is, though, is that this is happening very late in the half. It took them a while to get to this point, and we're only just now starting to see these good setups and really good retakes, specifically towards the B side as we've seen in the past couple of rounds.
And now we're seeing Peter starting to want to fight. When he gets this itch, he'll just go and doesn't want to stop in a well-timed shot. Will remove Nitro, but just equally good spam back from Stan. Perhaps Peter got caught up in a smoke and got stuck. As this is a bit awkward. Who's going to move first?
Oh, hear the footsteps, and
Android's
going to take him down, actually. I thought Stan would have shot after your footsteps, but apparently not. Android's ready to take that fight. Will barely take any damage, too. Only takes 4 HP, and that might have just been from earlier.
Look at Twist. Currently in the opposite side of the map. He has spotted mid. He's cleared brackets. He's cleared porch. It's a lot of map control, and you can see Liquid are going to just take full trust in him. Someone who's been relatively quiet this game, but he really hasn't had to have much impact if you're a Liege, and he's dropping 18 already. But they're going to go back to A. It's worked previously, and they're going to try it once more.
Flash out quickly to give Twist the momentum he needs to get into the site. Gets that first entry. He's been trapped, though, from behind the big box there, and that's where Slemmy's going to be able to find the trade. Yay, trying to move through the smoke, but Elige holds on in the pit. And it's not just this position either. JDM moves up from the porch and is able to secure an additional kill against Slemmy. He'll get the plant. It'll be a 2v1 at the end of the day. And Android will be looking to clutch. Not going to happen.
JDM just held lane. It was no big deal. The bomb planner would worry about porch side. 10 for Liquid on the T side of Inferno is a scary number, especially considering how strong CT can be. But CT is made difficult when your money's being broken. You're reset after the first rifle round. You only are able to string 2 rounds together, and even then your money's still not looking hot. And so Liquid have just had Complexity. They've just been stringing them along, giving them half buys and just straight up pistol buys. Haven't given Complexity too many chances back into this one. And I don't think that's going to change.
We still have pretty aggressive stance being taken up by Liquid early on here with Elige moving in, taking apps control in the first 20 seconds, and they've already pushed up to half wall Banana too. But this is once again going to be a fight if they go for Banana control here. The timing, it's somewhat worked out for Liquid. Unfortunately not, though. The fight doesn't, as Android very easily takes down Stan. He pretty much just rushes past the half wall this time around here. Elige, though, with that entry again, coming back out to the balcony. The jump in works out okay. Slemmy coming back, though, gets the trade with a pistol in hand. Now he's going to look to find a little bit more at mid. He's been spotted, though, so they'll be ready to take a fight against him. And yeah, more than likely, JDM should be able to take him back out, but the cavalry arrives. Yaster, again, showing up exactly when he's needed. Picks up a massive double kill, and now leaves only Twists alive here in a 1v3.
He seems to be having impeccable timing of this entire event. As with 40 seconds, Twist has to get the bomb. He has no clue where these Complexity members went. They scattered. As the bomb, keep in mind, is still down by mid. This Twist is going to try to get a lucky drop here. Will catch Slemmy. It's actually going to clear sight. It's happening. Twist gets a second. It's all on Yaster, who misses the op shot. And Twist is going to push him, and he'll do it. Big clutch from Twist. And that scoreline now is just even getting more daunting. And if Twist can do that to you, that just has to hurt.
We saw some of those heroic plays from him yesterday, especially in the final map against Misfits. It wasn't enough for him to come back for his team and actually win that final map in that best-of-3 series. But here, it's helping to secure a very strong lead going into the final round of the half. Beautiful stuff once again from Twist. Another massive clutch from him as he pulls off a 1v3 and puts Liquid up to 11 going into the final round of the half.
And it's another, I guess, just budget buy from Complexity. They've had way too many of these. It's just been Liquid. Making it so hard for them into this match.
Oh, there's a volley there.
That definitely hurts. Well, Slemmy's been having a lot of success with pistols. I feel like every round they get pistols out, he at least gets one.
The issue is, though, right, is they keep getting these pistol kills, but it usually doesn't translate very well. Like, usually a few seconds later, we see it getting traded, and then 1 or 2 other kills getting added onto it. So while it's great to get that, early 5v4, it doesn't mean much if you don't hold on to it and you immediately get traded like 5 seconds later, especially on rounds like this.
Peter's going to be doing a little bit of hunting here. I don't think he's going to be ready to be flanked. Yeah, no, as soon as Twist comes in, Peter realizes he's done. It's just Android and MP9. Liquid are aware. Yeah, they know he's the B player.
And there we go. Twist will shut him down, get the final frag of the half. And that secures it for them. A very, very strong halftime scoreline here at 12-3, leaving not a lot of room for error at all going into the second half for Complexity. They immediately need to start off with a pistol round victory. If they don't get that, then they might be facing a very quick end to their first map here.
21-8. That's a determined individual.
Seems those 4 hours in the DM worked out.
Man, he was, I'm telling you, he was zoned in. And he's looking equally so right now. By the way, it's always Slemmy who breaks his camera.
I think he just pointed it up. It's just looking at the roof.
It's either coach cam or just top of his hairline. And today it's neither.
So that's just the ceiling
It's
of the
the
room.
ceiling.
Right there is all that's looking at. You guys get a nice view of how tall this room is, at least.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Dualies from Stan. Seen him do this before. See how much impact that's going to actually have into the round. But he actually gets dropped it so he can have armor. That's a homie thing to do.
Gonna be all Glocks in the meanwhile for Complexity. Nothing fancy going on there. Just the 4 armor, 1 guy with utility buy. And they're going to take it nice and slow. No initial rushes or anything to take map control besides obviously putting Android into apartments, which, as I mentioned before, isn't that much of an effort anymore. It looks like Android's going to continue to push forward. He's got other teammates possibly going up the steps in a second too. So maybe a bit of a waterfall movement outside of the ramp, or excuse me, outside of the balcony in a second. A few more are going to be going in through mid-choke too, but let's see here.
They'll have a flash.
Stands in the Wild West. He's ready to take a duel.
Yeah, the flash is going to come over. And these are just going to lock it down. Gets the first and second. Yeah, Def will finally take him out of the round, but okay. Hang on, they found the refrags here. Stan's the only one to find kills, and that's a problem. Liquid even had rotations on point, but Def out of nowhere.
Shows up with a massive double kill, and obviously PTR helping out there as well with one of his own pickups. Now the 2v3. It's not over yet. It is the pistol, and we've seen rounds like this turn around plenty of times in the past. Especially with Complexity playing two in the pit. Nice spot in the one, trying to work his way out balcony. Nitro trying to make sure there's no one on site before he fully peeks back out, but Elijah is being left out to dry if he doesn't peek. But unfortunately, both of them just go down without a single trade. Def picks up both of those final kills and ends up with a pretty massive 4K here to give the pistol to Complexity.
Well, if there's a will, there's a way.
You can see off this replay, though, how useful the dualies can be in very specific situations like this one,
yeah.
Where because he has so much ammo, he doesn't even really have to aim that much there. He can kind of just spam inside, and if it doesn't get kills, at the very least, it holds off the T's for a very long time and buys extra time for the CTs to get into proper positions to counter out that kind of a push.
We may see a dead Complexity member here in a moment. They're going to go for a delayed at airstrike with all those grenades.
They're all split up, though, so
Yeah.
it's all going to have to meet at crossroads. The problem is, though, is that peeking mid probably won't be too successful because Complexity already have like 3 players there.
Complexity. Smoke off porch. A couple nades get tossed. But they did a nice job of staggering with their smoke. Trying to bait out some utility and actually worked beautifully.
Yeah, the nades from Liquid really don't get anything done, however. Just about 25 HP off of Ye, but that's about it. No additional damage done in that roster right now. And Complexity will be getting ready to push up to the B site, more than likely here. Well, actually, I won't say that just yet. I think this probably depends on if Ye sees anything or not.
Yeah. And if Def gets peeked, maybe they'll just commit if he gets a frag, but the bomb's coming back. Could be a wrap. Or CT. There's a lot of things Complexity could go for here, and it's oddly quiet, they're probably thinking. CA will take some damage from JDM. At least he knows that one player's home. As his teammates will start taking fights towards A, then they quickly realize there's more than just a couple players there. And they're now just going to start the pinch as Ye is taking care of the B site. Liquid will give chase. But I don't think they'll catch anyone off.
They've taken to rotate back over. They might get one extra kill here if someone from Complexity peeks out a little bit too much, but Complexity, assuming they plant, there we go. They should win this round as Def just mops up some shop over here. Let's see, can he line up one more? I get close. There we go. Gets another kill. It's up to 3 again. And the last one standing is going to be Elige, who will just hide out in the library here. And no luck for him. Everyone on Complexity stays alive. That is going to be the clean type of round that they need to set themselves up well to fight in what may end up being a very long half if they can keep this momentum going.
Definitely could be grueling. Let's look, we'll go back into a little bit of a nade. They are going to be full saving for the next buy. You can see JDM won't buy a single thing. Wants to get his op out as soon as possible. Looks like Complexity again keeping 5 members alive. They can keep all their SMGs. And now the nades will find a little bit of success. At least damage onto Def, down to 12. Just without having armor, without having any other utility, with no flashes, you can't justify peeking dry. Although this round is nearly a throwaway one.
Yeah, obviously with Liquid just on P250s, we're not expecting anything amazing. The close-up players on the site might be able to sneak off a few kills here, and in fact we do see that at the moment. They have man advantage, but no actual gun upgrades. The Acer can move back in, as we've seen before, gets another double kill. It's like his third or fourth one. Takes out Stan and Elige. And I will note that Complexity's players are relatively low, which means just a few bullets will be enough to take down any one of them. But I don't think Liquid are fully aware of this, so they won't actually push into the site and attempt anything. More than anything, they're just propping up on the outskirts here. While Twist has found 1 kill, JDM failed to pick anything else up. Def. Oh, okay. Twist with, I'm going to assume, a pre-fire. Beautifully done to take down Ye. The molly goes out, and Twist will get that final kill. He will not have enough time to defuse the bomb, so Complexity are still winning the round. But very well played from Twist again as he pulls off another 1v3 there.
Lives on 1 HP. Came right down to it. Complexity, the one saving grace actually into that round, it would have been really nice to keep some players alive. But since they beat the Force Buy after winning pistols by keeping 5 alive, that they can get everything out into this one. So if they lost a few players and they had a rebuy, they'd be properly broke into this. So that's one saving grace that Complexity have. Plus it was 4 UMPs. As you can see how strong this is going to be.
This does mean, though, that with everyone going down, there's not really going to be a valid rebuy, at least not with full guns anyway, for Complexity should Liquid win this first gun round. So that's definitely probably going to scare Complexity a little bit here. And probably put them into a more passive play style for the opening on this gun round. Which is exactly what we see from them. With Ye and Slimmy, though, getting hit by grenade pressure from Liquid. That's going to knock out about half of their HP. Def getting hit by that a little bit, too. Not the most amazing start for them, obviously, but not a lot they can do to avoid that necessarily. So they will have to start taking some map control here. They've already moved into the apartments and gotten that. And it looks like they're going to go in and somewhat take mid-choke here as well.
Keep in mind, Stan and JDM are both doubled up here towards the arch side. They were flashed off the initial angle and fight. And for now, they are just going to sit and wait. But it looks like that's what Complexity have in mind themselves. Based on bomb position and map control, Def is trying to be sneaky here a little bit towards Porch. If you're wondering why Nitro's looking into a wall, good old counter flash position. If Def finds success here, they may just straight up come back to A.
Stanislaw, though, hold on. This is going to be a bit awkward. Yep, Stanislaw was able to creep back forward. Gets that kill. However, the thing is, I don't think Stanislaw expected to find Def, but Twist, once again, saving the day when it matters here for Team Liquid. Gets those 2 very important kills that would have otherwise allowed for the round to go out of their control. And then we see JDM shutting it down with 2 very simple op shots here around the wrap side. Very well done. Liquid go up 13-6 now over Complexity. And Complexity are put into a very difficult decision. Do we force here and have most of our players with relatively full buy? Well, some obviously would not. Or do we save this one, let Liquid go up to 14, and then have a very full buy?
It was a great timing play there from Stan, realizing how much time was on the clock. They knew that Complexity fought for mid brackets early on and tried to fight for Porch/Arch side. And Stan just peeked it, saw no one was there, and pushed up. And that was a perfect counter to Def pushing up by himself towards Straw. And Peter wasn't quite ready for someone to be that close mid. As it looks like the choice from Complexity. Yeah. It's going to be an all-in on the table. It's first map, not your pick. Feeling risky. 2 AKs, a Galil, plus a sprinkling, and I mean sprinkling of utility. I'm gonna risk it.
Sees the flash of the player going inside of the mini pit in mid. But Yay, once again, will come out on top. Takes out JDM early on, and Complexity will certainly be happy about that, knocking out the Opera this early on in the round here. JDM thought for sure he was going to have the angle needed to eliminate him, but apparently not. He'll miss his shot, and Yays will certainly strike true.
Wow. Peter. Pistols, waiting for a flash to come out, and he will go out towards balcony. Stanislaw first pit has no support from any teammate, so he's going to have a big individual performance, and he has been spotted, and Peter with just a P250 takes him out of the round. And now this is a site control, but look how quick Liquid have received this, and how quick they've gotten towards Library and Arches. But they just don't even want to dare. Being 2 members down, only have a Molly and a flash, plus their own money. It's still kind of rocky.
Outwitted on, outfragged to a certain degree on the response round. Complexity will be able to stay alive for a little bit longer here. They go up to 7. That will leave Liquid in another relatively delicate position as well. Both teams will really be brought to the brink here. Complexity should be obviously much better off considering the probably full save from all 5 of their players.
That person singing Ocean Man, by the way.
What's up?
Did you hear that person singing Ocean Man?
No.
Oh, I hear someone singing Ocean Man.
Oh, okay.
Not that it matters.
Like in the stands, or?
I have no clue where it is, but whoever it is, you're gorgeous. Of course it is, isn't it? It's mad. Well, 13-7. Liquid hang on to 3 of their members. So the Ops up in 3M4 or 2M4s get carried over, and Complexity looking a little more comfy on their T side. Maybe it's a change in weaponry, the change of pace, or the fact that they get to control the pace seems big for teams that perhaps are underdogs. So Liege 22-11. He will get deep banana control for the first time in towards this match. It seems like Complexity are more interested towards A-Apps in this default that they're going into.
Liquid not really set up too well for this right now, too, especially if JDM gets caught in the open. Molly's going to be tossed out. Oh, it's from the CTs, however, so this is going to push back Complexity in the long haul. They'll be sent back over here towards the boiler hallway. And Complexity is still kind of toying with our options, too. We can see some pressure that they're trying to throw banana, but it's mainly just nades to keep the possible illusion alive that there may be a B hit. Liquid, of course, not having rotated over either of those B defenders, are going to be at somewhat of a disadvantage. Push comes to shove, and we see Complexity go for this execute. Their defenders need to be able to hold this off. What's interesting is they have a Stan holding Rap side with an ump, which is not going to hold too well, more than likely. Unless he can get a close fight like this, which he will. But unfortunately, the flashbang blinds him moments later. That's where Death will find a trade. Elysian Twist, though, get this massive crossfire. They don't even notice a Liege coming out of Boiler to flank them. Twist still holds strong within the pit. Android finding one more trade, but he's still got a 1v3 to deal with. There's the first pickup, but JDM would remain quiet up to that point. Finally strikes, taking down Android and securing a 14th for Team Liquid.
Liquid had a great setup in that site. At first, it was a little scary with, as you actually pointed out, JDM being in the open there. But it's a well-placed Molly in towards the Apps. Twist did a great job of staying alive. Balcony. And a lead from Arch side, which is deadly. That's Complexity. Will use what's left on their cards and bottom out their money. As Nitro and Liege will head towards top banana. This time they have JDM with them. So perhaps this will be a Riflers using utility, peek for a frag, and then leave the Opera to hold banana control. The Complexity seem like they want to fight it out, and Liege gets the first. Nitro's good there to back him up. As all of a sudden it's Yay, this kid is just double fragging like it's nothing. The youngster for Complexity. He's trying. Liquid having the numbers here. It went well for them, but all of a sudden, you know, a lucky catch.
JDM, despite the smoke pop, is going to be eliminated there, but he does get some important info that they're executing relatively slowly here. So this lets Liquid take their time, and not completely overextend past the CT smoke to try and rush and stop the plant. They're going to have time to set this up. Stan can't even hear the plant going back in. He pushes, gets some good damage done too. Unfortunately, Twist push is nowhere near as successful. He actually does end up getting the kill on Android, although I'm not sure how necessary that was with Stan getting a good spray into it. But they, of course, couldn't be certain, so they had to push that in for security. And now Stan will have to look to close out. Already knows where Peter is at, but he doesn't have a flash or anything for him, so has to move in relatively blind and gives himself away before he even fully peeks out. So that makes the shot easy for Peter to hit. And that secures round number 8 for Complexity. They're not done just yet.
I bet Complexity really wish they got even just a couple more rounds on their CT side. Because getting 3 rounds on CT really doesn't set you up for much error room on your own T side, especially on a CT-sided map. So you can see how comfortable they are on T side. They've been trading rounds with Liquid. They've been able to get opening picks. Getting map control seems safer for them than previous games I've watched them. They get AMPs, they're fighting for Banana properly, they have big plays from Ye, but they don't have so much time or room to work with. And a team like this that perhaps may be a little more prone to mistakes can definitely come back to bite you, and that's why you wish you had those few extra rounds.
To execute broiling in here. Liquid do have presence on the site to try and stop this, but it's in relatively predictable positions, and Def and Yaster will have no problem clearing that out very quickly. Twist, Stan, and JDM, nothing that they can really do here, so probably going to end up rotating into exit positions. Not even really anything to save here. There's P250s, and Stan's got armor. So they'll let Complexity have this one. This is the walkover round for Complexity, and it will put them up to 9. 5 more rounds, and they will tie this up at 14-14. Let's see, they're moving out. They're going to take these players down. Should still be relatively easy, but mind you, again, both these teams working with kind of a fledgling economy. Complexity's still just building theirs up, so you don't want to try and lose too many players to hunt down guys with P250s.
Yeah, he really wants this UMP money. He's all about the money. JDM may get caught out, but, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, he'll just stay in there. Only saves a P250. And this round, you take a look at what Liquid are working with. I mean, 35, 44, 3,700. It is just so bare bones for them. I think this is another half-buy round. They buy here, it's another broken economy for them, and they're given a bigger chance of Complexity. So, yeah, Liquid are going to have to go ahead and just buy up a little mini Quasi. Make 2 sets of armor. At least they get utility. I think speed is going to be their friend into this round.
Good flash onto the player that went underneath. And they're even going to be able to take out Android at range too. JDM spots nicely done. The spam from the pistol just deletes Slemmy. Very good opener here from Liquid, and specifically from JDM, as he takes all the attention here at alt mid. It's a massive job done. Oh no. Nitro getting right behind them is going to be able to only line up 1 kill just yet, but he's going to be allowed to escape. No room for a trade, and now look at this. The smoke's also imperfect. That's trying to block off their exit path here. So Stanislav's able to sneak in. He actually doesn't get a whole lot done, but they're still looking for Nitro, who's long gone. He's snuck way far away, and they're going to get spammed from CT here now, too. Twist picking up 1 kill. Yaster trading. It's all on him to pull off essentially a 1v5. It's not even going to come close, though. Twist will immediately shut him down, and that's Liquid stealing a round that they had absolutely no business taking.
No right whatsoever to that round. But it's that little bit of utility they buy up around it. 1 flash catches those mid players. They're able to just separate them. A nade down mid, scatters the T's. And JDM should have won that duel. Had some help from Twist, but this is just a round where Slemmy can't go down here. He actually comes back to challenge down towards Mexican, and that is just so difficult to fight back out of. As Liquid get away with one, and now Complexity have to be flawless.
Yeah, now Liquid do get up to map point here, and it's going to be 6 straight for Cole here. Otherwise, they will drop the first map. That'll give series advantage to Liquid. Only the first map, however, so still have our second and third maps to come back from JDM. He's making it too easy on himself, though, as he picks up 2 kills before going down. Twist with 3 to close out the map. And it's going to be Team Liquid that take our first map of the day, ladies and gentlemen. They come back in strong suit here and take control of Inferno 16-9, meaning they're only 1 more map away from being able to move forward into the match against CLG And of course, if they can push past that, they'll still earn their major qualifier slot. But they do have to do a little bit more fighting for it, and obviously still have to get through the second map here against Complexity in order to get to just that next series. So a lot of work to be done here for Liquid, and they still have the potential grand final too. So it's going to be potentially a very, very long day for Team Liquid here.
A major qualifier slot that some say they should have already had.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, going into Cobblestone, Complexity really enjoyed that T side on here on Inferno. So they seem to be finding their grooves. They're able to fight back. At the end of the day, that CT side was just so lackluster, and they're completely aware of that. It's going into Cobble. It is Complexity's pick. And we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll have an answer for you.